Are you ready for a reinvention? No matter where you are right now in your life, no matter your age, no matter your mistakes, no matter your setbacks, no matter your situation, your reinvention starts today. Hey Queen, welcome back to my channel. My name is Janelle Renee. I am your faithologist, certified faith-based business mindset coach. And on this channel, I encourage you to step out on faith. And I equipped you with the tools necessary to level up your life so that you can begin walking in your fullest and your highest potential. If that is something that you're interested in, be sure to stick around, subscribe to this channel, all right? As you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about how you can redesign your life. I am so excited for this topic. This is my life's purpose, is to help you truly step into your life's purpose and to truly execute your God-given assignment. And so I'm excited to share all of what the Lord has placed on my heart to share with you in this video. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to be sharing with you 5 steps for you to start taking today to redesign your life, okay? And the reason why I'm so passionate about this is because just a few years ago, I found myself so stuck. I literally was working in my dream career, the career that I've always wanted to achieve. However, once I achieved it and I was working as a registered nurse for years, I just could not feel fulfilled, right? I was happy, I was excited of achieving this goal of mine. However, I couldn't understand why it was not allowing me to feel fulfilled. And I felt very stuck. I really just felt like the walls of the hospital setting were just like closing in on me. Every time I would go into work, my stomach would sink every time I would literally clock in, because it was just, I just felt like I was existing. I felt like I wasn't truly living in my kingdom assignment. I wasn't truly walking out my fullest potential or my purpose. And I remember just thinking man, I don't want to do this for another 30 years. I remember watching my mom go to work. My mom was also a nurse and she was my inspiration. She was my hero. She was my everything. And so I remember just as a little girl, just admiring her and just wanting to be just like her. And I remember just watching her go into work day in, day out, as stressful as it was, because nursing is very stressful. For all my nurses out there, all my healthcare providers, workers, you guys know it's an extremely stressful career. And I remember just watching my mom and just how stressed she would be, going into work. But, that was her purpose. That was her destiny that the Lord had for her. However, I used to ask her, I'm like, Mom, how did you do this for 30 years? It was just so much. It was so much. I watched my mom work so hard for so many years. And I remember the day she told me, she's like, I'm just going to retire. She was ready to retire and she was so excited about it. But unfortunately, just a few months after her retirement, just a few months after, she got a diagnosis of breast cancer. And it literally shattered my world. It shattered hers, but it shattered mine, because I'm just like, man, I've watched my mom work so hard for so many years. I've watched her go into work day in and day out, even as stressed as she was. She paid bills. She literally worked and paid bills. That's what I watched her do her entire life. And I just remember thinking I don't want to do this. I don't want to work to pay bills for the rest of my life. And when she got that diagnosis of breast cancer, it just shook me on a whole nother level, because I'm just life is so short. And the moment she retired and said she's going to go and live and enjoy her life and move back to, Jamaica and just enjoy life, is the moment that life happened, where she was diagnosed with cancer. And it was just such a heartbreaking, pivotal shift for me, because I'm just I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to wait for another 30 years to enjoy my life. I'm not going to wait and just continue to work to pay bills for the rest of my life. I'm not doing it. And I had to literally make a decision. And so that brings me into step number one. Okay, step number one is making a decision. Making a decision to say, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm no longer going to live my life mediocre. I'm no longer going to just continue to live my life to work in this rat race, just working to pay my mortgage, working to pay my car note, working to pay bills, this bills, that bill. Like, I'm no longer available for that. I'm no longer subjecting myself to a life of mediocrity. When you decide, you have no other options. The root word to decide is Latin, decidere, right? Decidere. De meaning off, cedere meaning cut. So you're cutting off all other options. And so I had to make the decision, like, you know what? I'm going to choose my heart. Either I'm going to stay here in this career unfulfilled, wondering what if I made the choice to go after my dreams? What if I decided to start that business? What would my life look like? And so I had to decide that. I chose my heart. I said, you know what? I'm not going to stay stuck here anymore. I'm going to make this decision. As scary as it is to change and to step out, oftentimes it can be scary. However, I was just like, I'm gonna, like, what could possibly be worse than this? Worse than me working another 30 years unfulfilled in a career that I'm no longer in alignment with, and literally being miserable every day of the week going into work and literally just working to pay bills. Like, I just had to decide. I had to make the decision, like, no, I'm not gonna live my life like this anymore. I'm not doing it. And so that's why I'm so passionate about what I do as a life coach and as a business coach, like helping working moms to create passive income from their purpose, helping them to discover their purpose and create passive income. Because I know what it's like to feel stuck. I know what it's like to feel like you can't get out of a particular job or career because you're depending on that paycheck. And so that's why I'm just so passionate about what the Lord has placed on my heart to do, what the assignment that He's placed within me. Like, my purpose is to help you discover your purpose and then to go out and walk it out and to make passive income from that purpose. And so I had to decide. You have to decide. You have to decide today that enough is enough. And you have to establish your why. My decision for wanting more out of life and wanting to go after my dream of entrepreneurship, my why was truly my mom. My why was my mom. My why was my children. My why was the destinies attached to me. My why was to fulfill my God-given purpose here on earth. That is my why. And so my why right now is to keep my mom's legacy alive. Unfortunately, I lost my mom last year, but she fought long and hard. She fought 7 long years. She went on last year to be with our Heavenly Father. And I just know that I have to keep her legacy alive. I have to take the lessons that I've learned from her life, the lessons that I've learned from my life, and to help others so that you don't have to stay stuck. All right. And so you have to establish your why, know why you're going after what it is that you want to go after. Why is it that you want to get unstuck? Is it to leave a legacy for your children and your children's children? Is it for you to retire? Is it for you to retire your mom? Is it for you to retire yourself, your husband? Is it for you to travel the world? Is it for you to just leave your stamp, to leave your dent in the universe? Like, you have to establish what it is. What is that driving force? What is that vision that you have? What is the mission that you have behind your decision? I want you to decide today that you're no longer going to live a life that is unfulfilling to you. God did not create you to live a life just to work and pay bills. No, He has so much more for you. He has a bigger plan and purpose for your life. And I want you to really just make that decision today to go after all that God has for you. And don't worry about any other person's opinion, because no one else's opinion matters. When you meet your Father in heaven, you want Him to say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." So make the decision today. Make the decision today. So that is step number 1, to decide. Now we're going to jump into step number 2. So step number 2 is devotion. So you have to be in devotion to the Lord, spending time with God, seeking God, asking God, what is the plan and the purpose that he has for your life? You have to be going after God and seeking him. The Bible tells us in Psalms 37:4, when you delight yourself in the Lord, he gives you the desires of your heart. And so you need to be delighting in God, spending time in devotion with him, so that he can give you those desires, so that he can show you the plans and the purpose that he has for your life, so that he can show you the vision that he has for your life and for your business. You have to seek God. The Bible tells us in Matthew 6:33, seek first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all things will be added on to you. And so you have to seek first the kingdom of God. Seek God every single day in devotion time. Set aside time. That is literally the first thing I did. The first thing I did when I realized how I was just so stuck, and I made the decision to say, no, I'm no longer living like this. I literally made it a point to seek God first in all that I did. Which would, for me, that looked like I had to be up by 6 a.m, right, for work. And so what I did was I made a decision. I said, you know what? I'm going to start waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, every morning, and I'm going to be spending time with God. And so to not disturb my husband, I would put my headphones in, play my worship. I would literally meditate to his word. I would read the Bible. I would journal, listen for his voice, listen to the direction that he was giving to me. And this was the first thing I did. I had to realign with God. And that's why in my coaching program and the framework that the Lord has given me, the CPR framework, it's literally, the first step is literally to realign with God. Realign with your creator for clarity. That's step number 1. And so that is the first thing I did. I realigned with God so that he can show me the plans and purpose he has for my life. And literally, it just in doing that, just in spending that first hour every morning in devotion with God, it literally shifted my life completely. In spending time with God every morning, I was able to begin to decipher his voice. Before this, I didn't know that God could speak to me. I didn't even know how to hear God's voice. But it was in my time with him, when I became intentional about my devotion time with him, is when I was able to identify his voice and to be able to know like when God was speaking to me. It's so important for you to identify God's voice in your life, so that you can know when you are to move and when you are not to move, so that you can know where God is leading you. What is he telling you to do? What are the desires that he's placed on your heart? You have to be able to discern his voice for yourself, because the plan that he has for you is going to be completely different from the plan he has from someone else. So you have to go to your creator. Only your creator can tell you why he created you. That is step number 2, devotion. So step number 3 is define. You want to have a clear vision for your life. You want to define what it is that your ideal self would be doing 3 years from now, okay? Visualize yourself, imagine yourself, see yourself in the future. What are you doing? What are you doing for work, right? What are you doing for pleasure? What are you doing with your family? Where are you vacationing? What are you driving? Where are you living? Like, visualize yourself there, okay? And I want you to literally do this every single day. I want you to do it every day. Spend 5 to 10 minutes just visualizing yourself, living your best life, your ideal life. What does that look like for you? All right. And as a busy working mom, I know how hard sometimes that could be, just taking that extra 10 minutes. But I want to encourage you to do it before you get out of bed. Do it, before you get out of bed. Do it right before bed, right before you go to sleep. Like, pray, ask God to show you, and then begin to just use your imagination. That's why God gave you an imagination. That's why he gave you an imagination, so he can give you pictures and glimpses of your future. This is how your mind works. This is why the Lord speaks to us and dreams to us in our minds. Vision is imperative. The Bible tells us without vision, the people perish. You have to have a vision for your life. You have to have a vision for your future. You have to have God's vision for your life and business, okay? And so I remember doing this exercise, living in the cold, okay? I literally moved from New York to Connecticut, bought my house in Connecticut, and I remember having to drive to work in the snow, in the sleet, and I remember just feeling so like depressed because I'm just like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I want to live in the sunny state, okay? I want to live in the sunshine state where there are palm trees. I want to live where people vacation. And literally what would have taken what I thought, because when I bought my house in Connecticut, when I bought the house, I knew I wasn't going to be here long. I said, you know what? I don't see myself living in the cold for the rest of my life. So I knew when I purchased my home that it wasn't going to be my forever home. However, I told myself, oh, I'll be here for like about maybe less than 10 years is what I said. I know I was going to definitely be out of there by 10 years. You know what? God literally shifted me in half that time, all right? In half that time. After 5 years, I was able to sell my house and literally move from that cold climate and now living in Miami, Florida, okay, where I am surrounded by palm trees, literally living the vision that I visualized for myself. I wanted to be able to be up and, you know, walk every morning. I wanted to just see palm trees every single day. I wanted it to feel like I was on vacation every day. I wanted to literally work from my laptop. Okay, I wanted to not have to leave my home. I wanted to be more present with my children. And now I get to live that by the grace of God. That vision that I had for myself, I am now living it. And so what I'm saying to you is not just theory. Like, this is my life. This is what I have lived through. This is what I've been through. This is what I've experienced firsthand. And so that is why my mission in life, my assignment is to help you step into your God-given assignment. My purpose is to help you discover your purpose and create passive income from your purpose, because that is what I'm able to do now. And I want to reach back and help as many women as I can, as many working moms as I can, because I know what it's like to feel stuck. I know what it's like to feel unfulfilled. And I don't want that for you. I don't want that for you any longer. I watched my mom work day in, day out, stressed. And the moment she retired, she got sick. And I don't want that for you. I didn't want it for myself, and I don't want it for you. So I want to share a free resource that I have for you. It is called the Life Redesign Guide, and I'm telling you, it is a game changer. It helps you to level up your life in all areas of your life, okay? And so you, with this guide, you are going to level up spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, socially, financially, relationally. It literally guides you on leveling up every area of your life. So the way it works is I allot space there for you to begin to visualize yourself and write out your 3-year vision for your life. And then there's an area right below that where you can begin to write out your 3-month goals, right? And then right below that, you have an area as well for you to begin writing out and developing some habits, 3 habits that you're gonna start to implement in that specific area. The habits that you can begin to do every day, action steps that you can begin to do every day to achieve that 3-month goal and ultimately achieve that 3-year vision for your life over time. And so I'm telling you, it's a beautiful resource. It's free, and it's going to be linked literally in the description below. And so I pray that you grab that free resource, grab that Life Redesign Guide. It's going to literally level up your life. It's so detailed. And once you download it as well, there's a video explanation explaining exactly how the tool works. And so you want to get your hands on that. So that was step number 3, define. Now we're going to step into step number 4. So step number 4 is to design, okay? You want to design. So now that you have defined the vision, right? The Lord has given you your vision. Now you want to start to design it. What is that going to look like, right? When you write out your goals and you write out your habits, now you have to begin to say, okay, how am I planning this out? How am I going to plan out this vision? And so I just want to I encourage you to take that vision, that 3-year vision that the Lord has given to you, and begin to break it down into goals. Break it down into long-term goals. And so you want to, like, say for instance, you see yourself as a business owner. You see yourself as an entrepreneur, right? No longer in your unfulfilling career, but now you're walking out your God-given calling as an entrepreneur. So you have a goal to start your business in, let's say, 3 months. You're going to start your business in 3 months, right? And so you begin to take action steps. And some of those action steps could be hiring a coach, hiring a mentor, researching, doing the inner work necessary to discover your purpose so that you know what type of business it is that you want to start creating, right? What type of business is it that you want to launch? What are the products that you want to begin to create? And so you have to take the time to do that research, right? You're going to dedicate time and allot time. So what does that look like for you in regards to in regards to your habits? It could look like you waking up every morning. This is what I did. Woke up every morning, spend time with God. Only God can tell you your purpose, right? And so he gives you divine download. He'll give you strategy, right? And so it's so important to spend that time with God. So I would say maybe one habit is, allotting an hour with God in the morning, right? And then after work, say for instance, you get home from work at 5 o'clock, right? You want to spend at least an hour to a half hour every evening. I know you have your kids. I know you got to do dinner. I know you got, recitals. You have all these things, laundry. But I want to just stress the importance of devoting that time after work to researching your target audience, researching the market for the business endeavor that you are interested in. You want to start shifting your mindset from employee to entrepreneur. Instead of you maybe consuming content, now you want to start maybe creating content, right? These are some habits that you can just begin to start creating every day, some action steps that you can begin to do and implement so that you can achieve that goal of starting your business, launching your business in 3 months. But you have to design it, right? You have to literally write the vision, make it plain. You want to take that big vision and break it into long-term goals. You want to break it into short-term goals. You want to then create, like I said, habits and begin to implement those habits every single day so that you can achieve your goal. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So you have to literally design it out, map it out, have a clear vision of what it is, right, that you want to do. If your goal is to launch your business in 3 months, right, you can launch it sooner, but say for instance, for the sake of this video, your goal is to launch in 3 months. Maybe the first month you're going to be doing research. The second month, you can probably take that time to develop your products, right? The third month, you can take that time to then begin creating the content to launch, to get the word out, to say, okay, I'm launching this business, I'm creating this digital product, and begin just marketing the fact that you have this digital product to sell. You want to start to design what that looks like, design what the plan of action looks like for you. And so that is step number 4, design. Now we're going to jump into step number 5. So step number 5 is to deploy. Okay, so you made the decision, right? You made the decision. You said, nope, I am not remaining stuck. I am not remaining stuck for the rest of my life. I'm going after my God-given purpose, my God-given calling. I'm getting out of this unfulfilling career. And so you made that decision. You decided that today is the day. Right? And so you took time in devotion, right? You spend dedicated time with your Father in devotion to get in alignment with his plan and his purpose for your life. You then defined what that looked like, right? You allowed God to literally show you the vision. He showed you the vision. You begin to visualize, you define what it is that your life will look like, right? You make that distinct definition of what it is that will bring you fulfillment. What does that dream life of yours look like? You define what that is for you. Then you wrote that vision, made it plain, and you mapped it out. You designed it to say, okay, this is what it is. This is the action steps I need to take. So now in this 5th step, deploy, you are taking action. This is where you actually begin to start taking action, right? This is where it gets hard. This is the work. This is the actual work, because you're going to have so many limiting beliefs that come up. There's going to be so many blocks for you. There's going to be so many thoughts like that you have to begin to take captive. All right. Do not allow the enemy to tell you lies that you're not smart enough, you don't know enough, you're not enough, you're not worthy enough. Don't allow the enemy to tell you these lies. You are going to go after everything that the Lord has for you. You're going to deploy. You're going after everything that the Lord has for you. You're going after your purpose. You're going to fulfill your God-given assignment here on this earth. It's important that you remain disciplined. And in another video, I shared how the Lord really spoke to me about discipline. And he literally showed me that discipline is the decision that you're making in the moment to do the things you don't feel like doing, so that you can achieve and fulfill your destiny. And so every single time, every single moment that you know you should be doing something, but you don't feel like it, your flesh is saying, oh, I don't feel like it, do it anyway. That is discipline, doing it anyway in the moment, making the decision to say, nope, I'm doing it anyway because my destiny is on the line. I have to fulfill the destiny that God has placed me on this earth to fulfill. And so I want you to always remain disciplined. As you go out to deploy, I want you to focus on the vision that the Lord has given to you. Always remember the vision that you wrote down. Visualize your goal, visualize yourself living out the life that you truly desire to live. It's going to happen, but it takes action, all right? And I want you to also not only focus on your vision, but your mission. Why? Why are you doing it? Remember the why. Remember what's the cause of you wanting to go out and do this? What is the cause of you wanting to go out to get unstuck? What is the cause of you wanting to achieve this purpose and this plan, right? You have to have that mission behind why you're doing what you're doing. You have to know your why. So when you want to stop, when you want to quit, no, you think of the why. You think of the mission. You think of the vision. Okay, and you remain disciplined. And so that is step number 5, to deploy. So just as a quick recap, first, you're going to decide. Then you are going into devotion. Then you're going to define. Then you're going to design. And then you're going to deploy. All right, so those are the 5 steps that will get you to redesign your life starting today. I pray that this message has been a blessing to you. I pray that you got some takeaways from this. Let me know which step resonated. Let me know in the comments which step resonated with you most. And I want to just remind you to download that free Life Redesign guide. I'm telling you, it's going to bless you, all right? And I'm just going to tell you, just as God told me, put one foot in front of the other, step out on faith, and trust God for the next step. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.